I gotta admit, when I inherited my family's old house, I wasn't quite prepared for the horrors that awaited me. You see, my great-grandparents were involved in some seriously creepy rituals back in the day. I had heard whispers and rumors about it, but nothing could have prepared me for what I was about to uncover. As soon as I stepped foot inside the house, an eerie chill ran down my spine. It was as if the very walls were whispering secrets of the past. The air felt heavy, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. But I shrugged it off, thinking it was just my imagination playing tricks on me. The house itself was a grand old mansion, with creaking floorboards and stained glass windows that seemed to hold 1,000 secrets. It had been in my family for generations, and now it was mine to explore. I couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and apprehension as I ventured deeper into its dark corridors. One by one, I opened the doors to the various rooms, each one revealing a glimpse into the twisted history of my ancestors. The first room I entered was a study, filled with dusty old books and parchment. It was here that I stumbled upon a diary belonging to my great-grandfather, detailing the rituals they conducted in the very house I now stood in. The diary spoke of dark magic and unspeakable acts, rituals that were meant to summon otherworldly creatures and harness their power. It sent shivers down my spine as I read about the sacrifices they made and the horrors they witnessed. It was clear that my family had delved into the darkest depths of the supernatural. As I continued my exploration, I discovered a hidden cellar beneath the house. It was a damp and musty space, filled with strange symbols etched into the walls. I couldn't help but feel a sense of foreboding as I descended the creaky wooden stairs. The air grew colder, and my heart raced with each step I took. In the center of the cellar, there was a large stone altar, stained with what looked like dried blood. It was surrounded by candles, their flickering flames casting eerie shadows on the walls. I couldn't help but wonder what kind of rituals had taken place here and what kind of dark entities had been summoned. Suddenly, I heard a faint whisper, barely audible but distinct enough to send chills down my spine. It was as if the very walls were speaking to me, warning me to leave this place and never return. But curiosity got the better of me, and I pressed on, determined to unravel the mysteries that lay hidden within these walls. As I delved deeper into the house, I discovered a hidden room at the end of a long, narrow hallway. The door was locked, but with a bit of effort, I managed to force it open. What I found inside was beyond my worst nightmares. The room was filled with occult artifacts, ancient relics that seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. There were strange symbols carved into the walls, and a pentagram painted on the floor in what looked like fresh blood. It was clear that this room had been used for some seriously twisted rituals. But what frightened me the most was the strange presence I felt in that room. It was as if something inhuman was watching me, its eyes burning into my very soul. I could feel its anger and malice, and I knew that I had stumbled upon something far more sinister than I could have ever imagined. Terrified, I fled the room, slamming the door shut behind me. But no matter where I went in the house, I couldn't escape the feeling of being watched. It was as if the spirits of my ancestors were still trapped within these walls, their dark energy permeating every inch of the house. Unable to bear the weight of the house's dark history, I made the decision to sell it. I couldn't bring myself to live in a place so steeped in darkness. But even now, years later, I can't help but wonder what otherworldly horrors still lurk within those walls, waiting for their next victim. So, my friends, if you ever find yourself inheriting a house with a twisted past, beware. Some secrets are better left buried, and some houses are better left abandoned. For in the darkness, the sins of our ancestors can come back to haunt us, and the horrors they unleashed can never truly be forgotten.